Brian from the Tone Jerks here. This video, I got my buddy RJ from TeleTalks. And just surprised me, Renegades of Pop. You guys, you're doing it all.
Yeah, try.
Yeah, here we're kind of doing the TeleTalks thing. You got the telly?
Indeed.
I kind of wanted to, just a loose conversation and idea topic, almost like a podcast, but
an excuse to drink.
Yeah, and hang out. Yeah. So, I was thinking, you hear the term pedal platforms all the time.
Indeed.
And I think just between even the two of us, we have different ideas of what we're going for with a pedal platform, what we're looking for. So this video, we're going to kind of talk about it and then play some things.
Yeah, indeed.
So RJ is going to, we'll start off. RJ is going to be playing his TeleTalks demo patch, which is kind of a clean platform, right?
Cleanish, yeah. It's HX Stomp now, so not quite a pedal platform amp.
Well, yeah,
but it's functioning as the amp. I've actually made this available for everybody to download minus the IRs because they are Celestians.
Yeah, third party.
You could put whatever you want, but links down below. I honestly don't remember what I put on this patch. To be fair, I believe it's a high watt in a Vox. Can you scroll through? It's a little far away from me. Yeah, real professional. Should have remembered this, but it's been a long time. Yeah, so it's the SX A30 and the high watt. It's all clean. Not my board. It's kind of boring, but
this is the patch that you use when you demo pedals on your channel.
Yep.
You kind of want the amp to really get out of the way, right? To kind of showcase.
It's pretty neutral.
Yeah. So it's not too having the high watt and the AC30 kind of helps you get the highs and lows and spankiness and stuff like that. But you're not really, that's not the sound. It sounds cool, but you wouldn't be like, oh, cool, I'm going to start gigging or playing with that sound. You want to put something on top of it, right?
Yeah. So just real quick, also, I did have a pedal on with what you heard. It's actually the Mystery Brain. It's his just his preamp. I always use his preamp as like a thing to carve off a little bit of the low end because it has a bass cut. Basically, it's just preamp volume and bass cut. And it's, so real quick. And then when I turn it on.
So it's kind of an always on thing for you.
Yeah, it's an always on thing.
Yeah.
How some people swear by I always have to have an EQ on my pedal board to shape whatever I may be given, even though I don't gig. Yeah. That's kind of like my thing. That's my thing. It's that preamp because the bass cutoff really does help a lot.
Yeah.
Especially with when I do play into amp, I play into my Marshall Class 5. The Class 5 is actually a really dark sounding amp and this cleans it up quite a bit. I used to use a Stone Deaf Trashy Blonde, which is like a JTM 45 in a box, but it has a really powerful active EQ section. It's really good, but this does the same thing and it's included in one of my favorite delays.
Yeah. So if you clean and stuff like that, so if you're going to add dirt to it, you think your platform kind of gets out of the way of it? It kind of just highlights the pedal a little bit more?
Yeah. So essentially, all my dirt's coming from my pedal board.
Let's click on some dirt. What you got?
Okay. So technically, now the Mystery Brain can get pretty dirty. If you crank it, I don't usually but it does have a Abbey switch. Now, a little backstory for this pedal. I'm sure you've heard it, Brian, and you and Kyle have talked about on the podcast. But Mystery Brain is basically a Roland Space Echo inspired pedal with the included preamp, but it has a added. It's a foot switchable, and it has what it calls Tavo calls the Abbey switch, and adds a little more harmonic content. So with that on, so it goes from nothing at all to the preamp. All right, so I could do that, and I could crank it more, but I keep that on. First dirt in my chain is actually first I go into a compressor that I only use for like swells and stuff. I don't keep it on. I'm not.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's the Galactic Vice. It's actually the Galactic Vice. It's a pedal kit that you do, but it was actually built by what's his name? Schnobel.
Okay. Yeah.
Like this is actually, he demoed this exact pedal.
Okay.
I found it on Reverb, and I was like, hey, can you sign the inside of the pedal board?
Nice.
The pedal. Yeah. So I had him sign it. Anyways, but no, my prized possession. Okay.
Mm.
My Walrus Audio Mayflower limited edition.
Yeah.
I think they only made 30 of these.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. Now they did like a total of like, I think like 60, but they only made 30s. There were slight variants on colors.
The colors and stuff. Yeah.
This is back when Walrus did like really, really.
We're going to roll that beautiful B-roll footage and get a shot of that.
Oh, it's got the Kraken on it. It's so cool. But basically it's kind of like a Timmy.
Yeah.
It's that's all it is. So nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
But you know.
Sounds good.
No, I love it. And then after that, I'm a huge fan of Marshall in a Box style pedals. Now, my favorite one of all time is the MI Audio Crunch Box.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, my boy, my co-host of Just Surprise Me, and he's also on Masters of the Cinematic Universe with my other co-host, Mr. Doug Christ. Just giving all the shout outs here. It's his Marshall Law, which is inspired by that.
Yeah.
And it's this one I had custom. I love the amp jewel I added. Basically, I'm a huge fan of BioShock, the video game, the whole series, and that's what this art is. It's inspired by.
Yeah, and like my pedals, he can do custom artwork, and so he kind of took this one on. It's pretty cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really cool. You can like get the like low end and the like
so what's cool is how
the chugs you can
interactive the presence and the tone knob is. Mm-hmm. It's super you're able to really tweak it because they really just counteract each other quite well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And now let's get to the fun part because for those who don't know, I like playing a little bit more spacier stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we have the Mystery Brain delay. Has a modulation section that's actually quite lush.
Yeah.
That I keep on.
And again, having the cleaner pedal platform, you can kind of hear that modulation.
Yeah.
If it was heavier gain, or if it had like a big EQ sweep on it, the Marshall Law wouldn't sound the same. And neither you wouldn't hear the modulation from this as much.
Yeah, I love the modulation. It's so lush. Lush enough to where I don't feel like I have to necessarily have a chorus or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It can do a pretty good job. Then going into it, I have my longer delay.
Yeah.
Again, from like my pedals, the Wells. This thing is stupid crazy. It's got a tap tempo. It's an insane value for the money. Like,
yeah.
It costs the same amount as a carbon copy, but you get tap tempo and subdivisions.
Yeah.
Anyways, so here's what this size. It's based off like a Boss DM2.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I believe. I'm sure Joe will correct me if I'm wrong. He likes doing that. But it's very dark.
Yeah, definitely.
And it gets kind of lo-fi when you crank it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, damn.
Very musical. I really do like it a lot. You have one. You didn't know this? Come on, man.
I guess because we'll go to my pedal platform that I have. You don't hear a lot of these things because I'm kind of... Well, we'll talk about mine. It's definitely darker than yours and more gain.
And then, of course, I have to have a reverb. This reverb does change, but right now I am borrowing a fan of both of our podcasts and channels. This pedal is actually from Jason Fuzzmonger.
Shout out. What up?
It is, and I'm a huge fan of this company. It is the Mr. Black Blood Moon.
Yes.
Just overall, just awesome ambientness. Right. Now, to get to the point, I'm gonna kick on all my delays. And then, and I also have a volume pedal with a logo.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. Glows in the dark too.
Oh, you get the swells going.
Yeah,
that's what I see you're doing.
See, I'm so used to not playing with a volume pedal because I usually just keep it on the side or I use it for like an expression with my HX stomp. That I'm so used to still doing swells with my volume knob.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's like it's just built in. See, I did it again. My bad. And then this is where I would kick on
the compressor.
The compressor to really get it.
That's rad.
That's it. That's what I got for you. But yeah, another thing I like about the Mystery Brain is it's pretty original when it can self-oscillate, but it also can just be like right at the cusp, which is kind of cool. I haven't done it in a while, but let's see if we can. Okay, I went a little too much, but usually I can.
So we can get some of the warble in there.
Essentially, like I said, back to the pedal platform. It's got to be kind of clean. It can get a little hairy.
Yeah.
Like a Vox, like stereotypical ambient stuff, like a Vox with a little bit of chime, a little bit of high end that, is a slight edge of breakup as all the kids say.
Cool. Well, I guess we'll play mine. I'm mainly just trying to, it's definitely more dirty than yours. I'm using an amp, which is an AD30 orange, which isn't really known as a clean platform. I'm thinking of like sounds I want to get. If I'm like demoing like a pedal, I have like a patch that I use in my Fractal that's pretty clean and neutral, kind of the way that you're going.
Yeah.
But if I'm like pedal platform, like something I want to like use as like for a song or for like playing a show, I kind of want the amp to be like a part of the pedal sound or like kind of like.
No, I get you.
Like, so anyways, we'll play mine. We'll switch. Okay, so like I said, my platform is the 8030. It's
See, that's even more on edge of break. That's what I think of when I think edge of breakup.
Yeah,
definitely.
And then I just have the 3 pedals I threw on a board real quick. So the Sweet Honey Overdrive, which is kind of one that I would have on the whole time.
Is it like your tube screamer in a way? Like, is it supposed to? I don't know. That's quite a bit of dirt.
And the reason I kind of have like that pedal a little bit more gainier is because I'm going to go to delay, which is a carbon copy, and the reverb, which is a flint. And I kind of want the amp not to be high gain, because if you threw these pedals in front of like a rock reverb or like a dual rectifier or something like that, it would just get, which is kind of a cool sound, but in the front end of it, it would just get so muddy and washed out.
So real quick, that actually brings up a good point when you're talking about pedal platforms. Do you care about effects loops?
Yeah. When I was playing a rock reverb, I was using an effects loop to have the rock reverb sound with like a tube screamer in front of it, and then I'd have all my delays and reverbs in the loop.
Fair enough.
It was cool, but I guess I wouldn't consider like a rock reverb a pedal platform at all. To me, I just think of like whatever you can throw in the front end of it.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I'm sure it would work, but like carbon copy and a Flint with like, or like reverb and stuff like that in front of that would just be like,
maybe not the reverb, but you know, your boy, one of your favorites that you like to watch, Mr. Pete Thorne.
mm-hmm.
There's something cool that he didn't teach me is would be Van Halen.
Yeah.
Van Halen put his delay in front.
Yeah.
Of a cranked
Marshall. Yeah.
Marshall. So I mean, and it sounds really cool, and it adds character in a different way.
Yeah, you would definitely like have the mix a lot lower because it's hitting and getting saturated by the distortion of the amp. And so you could be like, oh, if you normally you would have it, and say if you're putting it in front of like deluxe reverb or something, you'd be like, you hit the same settings, it'd be like wah 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 wah.
Yeah, like, exactly.
So that's kind of the sound. It's like that would be the main go-to, and you go.
I don't think I ever said this to you, Brian, but I'm gonna look into your soul right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. I just want to say I appreciate you for being an orange boy, because you know what? I love me an orange.
Yeah.
Dream amp that I saved up and I was like so stoked on is when they released the OR15.
Yeah.
That's a great pedal platform, and it's very underrated. And I think Orange in general is an underrated pedal platform amp.
Yeah, I would say so too. I know they came out with the Tremverb or Tremlord.
Tremlord.
Yeah.
That thing looks cool.
It looks really, yeah.
If I want a Fender clean, I'll go to a Fender, not an Orange.
I might want to do that if they had a head version of it. I would like to have like a super clean, because I have the Rock Reverbs or I have a Rock Reverb Mark II. And the clean channel on that, it's not that good.
The Mark III is supposed to be pretty decent.
Yeah, so it's like, I think that's when they kind of got a little wise to the clean. But even like, I never really play clean. Like, hence, this is the clean that I like.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Kick on that carbon copy, man, because that is still hands down one of the best delays.
Yeah, it's just like
modulation.
Like, it's not super, like I don't have the deluxe on here that's tap tempo, and I don't even really need it, because it's like, this could be, it just adds,
That's all you need, man.
like enough to where it's like not super, it's like subtle. I guess a lot of the effects that I use, if I do use like an amp and trying to get a sound, it's just very subtle. Like yours, I think, are a lot more like in depth, and they kind of have their voice. Mm-hmm. Whereas these are kind of all mend together. When I click on the Flint here, so I took the delay off, but you're just like, it's not too overwhelming.
Just enough to, cover your fuck ups.
Yeah. So if you're, so it still, has the sound can cut through.
Another thing I look for in my pedal platform personally is the less playing I have to do, and the less the not being so good, that's why you get all the effect pedals.
Yeah.
That's why,
So if I kick on all three, which would be like the crazy sounds, that's it. Like, I could even still do.
It sounds phenomenal, though.
It's like, so it's not like, I kind of want the amp and everything all to work together. So it's less of things standing out. Yeah. But then again, if I were to showcase like a demo platform, because that's like one thing that's not going to showcase like the carbon copy very well, or even like the Sweet Honey.
I disagree. I think that sounds phenomenal. I think for the carbon copy personally,
I'm gonna hey.
No.
That's the first White Claw. You're
I
already
know,
like,
I'm a lightweight.
speaking in tongues here.
Yeah. No, but for real, I think actually that's why I would say it's popular in the high gain crowd. Like you see it on like middle boards. You see it on higher gain pedal boards because it plays so well with higher gain amps. Like
and other pedals.
Off,
yeah.
Like
totally.
The way it rolls off on the repeats, it's just warm. It's like where like I feel like my mystery brain can get a little shrill because it's more pristine.
Yeah.
That's a lot darker, and so it can definitely take gain a lot easier. Like Fluff. I mean, he's used a carbon copy for quite a while. It's on multiple boards.
Yeah, it's just like I think people want it not to be a standard because it's like an MXR. It's like, what the fuck? But they're actually awesome and super easy to dial in. But I don't know, that's kind of my take on like if I'm thinking of a pedal platform, completely different. Like our bass sounds are completely different. But maybe we'll just try just like I don't know, a play out. I'll play out of yours with my same setup, and you play out of the 8030 with your same setup and see what we get.
Same setup as in.
Now I'm just gonna take your cable instead of going to the HX Stomp. We're going to the 8030.
Oh,
let's try that, and then maybe we'll talk again. Okay, so we just swapped, the HX Stomp versus the 8030. So now I'm playing my same setup, the Equits with the Sweet Honey carbon copy Flint into RJ's TeleTalks demo setup. Here's my clean zone. Kicking on the same. Still sounds good.
Oh, yeah.
And then carbon copy.
Ooh. A lot more higher end.
Yeah. I think you're hearing the carbon copy a lot more here.
For sure.
Yeah, you can hear the Flint.
Yeah.
I like it.
Definitely goes back to what you were saying, though. It does showcase the pedal.
Yeah.
A little more.
Yeah, I like it still. It's still. I don't think either one of them is a bad bet there. But and now you're playing out of the AD30. Let's see that we got that.
Indeed.
Cool. Why don't you give that a spin there?
Probably should have gone clean first. That's my bad. But right now what you're hearing is both my delays, the Mystery Brain and the Wells going into the Blood Moon. And the preamp is on the Mystery Brain. But
oh, that sounds rad. That's the Mayflower you kicked on.
Yeah, Mayflower, and then again the Mystery Brain is always going to be on. Now I feel like what I'm about to do is a little blasphemous, seeing how Orange is just known for really good dirt, but I'll kick on the Marshall Law. A little too high end. And see, that's still very trebly, and I'm on my neck pickup on that. That's a little better. There we go.
It's the Marshall into the Orange. It doesn't like it. They're fighting.
Still a little fizzy. Maybe if I turn off the Mystery Brain. Ah, a little bit better.
Because now you're gain stacking more with the amp as well. So you're kind of like what you would normally go to on a cleaner platform.
I just like the Mystery Brain. I think, or I like the Mayflower. It does it a little bit.
It's like when people say, it's like, why would you get like such a light drive? I'm like, because maybe you're playing into a higher gain or a more gainier, crunchier amp, and it plays really well.
Yeah, and then I could kick in the low end a little bit.
And one thing I do like about the AD30 and the AD15 is that they're both tube rectified, so it's a little bit saggier, like spongier, kind of that front end. That.
Even the little guy is?
Mm-hmm. And then the rocker verb is a solid state rectified, so it's a difference in sound. So it's a little bit sharper. And so I feel like this definitely takes like drive pedals really well, hitting that front end of it.
Fair enough. Now I'll go back to the more ambient stuff. I can play.
It's with delayed, like you make a mistake. Hey.
I think it still sounds pretty great.
But it's just a different character to it. Like having, like dirty, and it kind of gives you that, I don't know, just using the term wrong, but more like, I don't know, like garagey, lo-fi kind of thing going on.
Garagey, lo-fi.
I'm just throwing buzzwords out there. You're like, no,
transparent.
It's transparent. It's the edge of breakup. It's the dirty game.
It's another good one.
Gets out of the way. Makes you feel like you're playing a Marshall.
Mm-hmm. True bypass.
Yeah.
Buffered bypass. Kill dry. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
It's like a hot potato. But yeah, so what do you think? As opposed to playing the same setup that you had going into an amp, what do you like? Or especially this one, setup dirty kind of, but
like I said,
you can make it work, right?
I love orange amps. Orange amps don't get enough credit for being a pedal platform. I think that's what we've all learned here today.
Yeah, and HX Stomps, they're a good setup too. And I think you got. It's definitely. I am glad that I downloaded your patch because I might just steal it and use it for my own demos. I could just change the script instead of TeleTalks Tone Jerks demo. How about that?
There we go. Yeah. I like that one. I do like the TeleTalks thing just because if you are using pedals, it's pretty cool because it's a dual amp setup.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you can there's a lot of flexibility there.
And then you had it set up. No, you have it mono, but you can probably just move it to stereo too if you wanted to do something like that.
Yeah. No, you can.
Which is something you totally can't do with an amp.
Yeah, we have it set up for mono, but you can do stereo, and I think that's where it shines, especially for if you're doing like a true stereo pedal.
Yeah,
it will definitely do you some good.
Cool. That was a fun video. Just us, babbling a little bit. But RJ, where can people check you out?
TeleTalks. All right, for the YouTubes and the guitar stuffs.
Link in the description.
Yeah, we got something cool there going. Another video, so stay tuned. I don't know which order those are coming out, but it might already be up, or this might be up first.
Yeah.
Either way, stay tuned. We got some.
Ideally, you're not going to be a stranger to the channel, so
exactly. And then also, Just Surprise Me podcast where we talk random bullshit for about an hour.
Yeah, every week.
3
to 4 guys talking random shit.
That's a good Will impression.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know who Will is, he's one of my co-hosts. And last but not least, Renegades of Pop, where me and my significant other, Andrea, rock out and just talk about random bullshit.
A lot of like pop culture kind of stuff. And
yeah.
stuff like that.
Pop culture and shit talking each other.
Yeah. Awesome. So, we will see you next time. Bye-bye.